lovely person on my Discord server was showing me their autism related tattoo recently, and then a bunch of ideas they had for other tattoos, and they were so cool. They were amazing, and I would love to have a tattoo one day. I don't know why I don't have one yet, to be honest. I don't have any. I don't know, I just don't have any ideas. I don't have the inspiration. And when I think about, you know, things that I kind of briefly considered getting about 9 years ago, I'm like, ooh, would I still want that on my body right now? I'm not sure. But I do get, you know, tattoos don't have to always be deep and meaningful. And also, you know, even if you change your mind and you grow in a different direction, it's still kind of a symbol of who you were on your skin. I can definitely see that. So you know what? Maybe I need to stop being such a wimp and I need to get one. Anyway, so today I'm going to look at some autism related tattoos. Maybe rate them. Should we rate them out of 10? That might be a good idea. I am anticipating that there will be puzzle pieces. I do feel like people should be allowed to put whatever they want on their bodies, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Maybe all of these will be great. Who knows? Let's have a look at the first one. Okay, unfortunately, we're starting with puzzle pieces across the knuckles. I wouldn't have made those color choices. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so we're gonna probably lose a few points for saying Autism Speaks, not gonna lie. Autism Speaks is a very controversial autism charity over in the US. I spoke about them a little bit in the video I made about the war between autism moms and some actually autistic adults. And Autism Speaks have that puzzle piece that's across their knuckles here. Imagine being punched by that, you know, punched by the puzzle piece. They have that as their logo, and a lot of autistic people much prefer this infinity symbol. We don't love the puzzle piece because it's associated with this charity that only took Cure for Autism out of their mission statement in 2016. They didn't come up with the puzzle piece. It was actually the National Autistic Society a really long time ago, and it had a crying child in the puzzle piece, and it was because autism was a puzzling condition. But yeah, a lot of people find it kind of infantilizing because, you know, it looks like a children's toy, particularly when it's in like these primary colors. Some autistic people do like the puzzle piece. People feel like autism was the missing piece, particularly if they were late diagnosed in their life. That's fine, you know, and maybe there is an argument for reclaiming the puzzle piece. Autism speaks loudly to those who listen. I don't like when autism is personified. It gives me the I Am Autism advert from the charity Autism Speaks.
I know where you live. And guess what? I live there too.
Just from a design perspective, I'm not sure if I like, you know, that black text across your hand. It's for like other people to read, isn't it? So it would be like upside down to you. Giving me like vibes of like, do we need to do a seance with autism so we can hear what autism is saying? Like, who is autism? I agree with the sentiment that just because someone is non-speaking doesn't mean you should think that they have nothing to say and discount that there's anything going on in their mind. That can be really damaging and harmful. And there are many autistic people who have been written off as, you know, like they're never going to amount to anything. They're going to need lifelong care. There's an autistic professor at Cambridge who didn't speak until he was 13 and didn't learn to read or write until he was 18. I don't know what to rate this. So 5 would be like an average tattoo. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. We're going to start with a 3 out of 10. But you know, you tried. Let's see what we get here. Are we going to have more puzzle pieces or are we going to be a puzzle piece free zone? Oh wow, we are not a puzzle piece free zone. We have a full sleeve. And from what I can see in the little description here, it's cut off. The tattoo was for somebody's autistic something. So I'm assuming like some sort of autistic relative, brother or nephew or sister, something like that. Okay, wow. There are a lot of puzzles on your arm. Because it's across his whole arm, I feel like I want to criticize it less because, you know, it just takes up so much of him. You know, a whole limb, it's a lot of a percentage of who he is now. And I don't want to criticize this person as a person because they might be a really nice person. I'm just not a fan of their sleeve. I think I'm more of a fan of like black and white tattoos in general, I think, in my unprofessional opinion. I just never understand this being the puzzle as well, because this would be a really awful puzzle, just like colourful pieces. What is the point of it? I suppose maybe here it's representing the spectrum and how everybody is different. It's like a spectrum of colour, everybody is a different piece, and it all fits together to make the picture of autism. It looks like it's missing a piece there. Maybe that's Autism Speaks logo. They have that missing piece for this guy's tattoo. I am going to have to give that one a 1 out of 10, probably as a symbol that they really love, whoever inspired them to get a tattoo, to get that all over their arm. And you know what, they may be a very, very nice, very, very loving person. No comment on your personality there. Oh, do we have one of these? Okay, I got told off for calling this the wrong thing last time. I think, is this an initialism because it smells out? It smells out autism. It sniffs it out because it spells out autism. So we've got 2 puzzle pieces. Again, they don't look like they match. One is colourful. One is like black and white. It's like the 2 sides to autism. The colourful side. And then the dark side of autism. That dark one represents the evil autism subreddit. People also called it a backronym, where you come up with the word first and then you try and find words to fit in. And I think that's where a lot of things go wrong, because you can struggle with some letters. You're like, oh, what do I put with that? And then they can end up with some like ridiculous, elaborate sentence where it doesn't even really relate to that letter anymore. So let's see what words they've chosen to spell out autism. We have always, unique, totally, intelligence, sometimes mysterious. So I feel like these are in pairs. So always unique. I mean, if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. A lot of autistic people are unique from each other, not a monolith. I don't know if always unique means every day we're unique. That sounds like a lot of pressure. Then totally intelligent. So there is not a part of you that is not intelligent. You are totally intelligent. I wouldn't say that about myself. You know, there are times where I do things that are not intelligent. A lot of autistic people don't really like this whole genius stereotype. The intelligence of autistic people varies massively, and that's fine. Doesn't mean you are any more or less autistic. And it does say sometimes mysterious. Yeah, if you do find it very mysterious, I would maybe look into the theory of monotropism, because I think that really helped me to understand autism. I have a whole video about that, so maybe this person might want to check that out. I kind of like the paint splash in that first puzzle piece. It's supposed to be like a paint splatter. That's kind of pretty. The puzzle piece next to it's supposed to be like black and white shaded. It looks a bit like a cartoon character when they get dirty or something, like it's been down the chimney or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a 4.5. The puzzle piece obviously knocks it down a little bit. I'm not super fan, but it isn't primary colored puzzle pieces. You know, they're a little bit more mature. I'll give them that. So a little bit less infantilizing. I'm not a fan of these backronyms at all, so it's definitely losing points for that as well. Not the worst thing. I mean, they were all positive words that were said. I appreciate that. The next link says Autism Speaks in it, so we're in for a treat here. They want me to sign up for news, updates, and more, and I can also receive $5 off my first order. Thank you, Autism Speaks. That's very kind. I will decline for now. Okay, this is Autism Speaks temporary tattoo. All right, so you don't have to have it forever. You can get 1 Autism Speaks tattoo for 95 cents. Did you know that today's video was sponsored by Autism Speaks? I didn't, but there we are. Apparently it is. This is like me just being PDA and stupid, and this is where I'm going to get myself into trouble. But what if I get one in a video? Do you think people would notice? I'm obviously not going to give them the money, but part of me just kind of wants to ironically do it. Ironically stick it on my forehead. Hey, if I did that, you wouldn't even know. I could have it on my forehead right now. Now I feel the urge to show you my forehead and prove myself, but I'm not going to do that. Just trust me, okay? I don't have an Autism Speaks temporary tattoo on my forehead. We're just gonna have to trust each other. You can get that. That is something that you can get. There's also a necklace when I scroll down. They have merch. Maybe at some point we should delve into their merch store. That is something that we could do. It's temporary, so I can give it the points for that. You know, you are able to change your mind and decide that you don't like the puzzle piece and it's not there forever. You can just give it a good scrub and it's gone. You can scrub the Autism Speaks away, and that can be handy. We're probably not going to get over a 5 here. I will give it a 4 because it is temporary. I don't know if we're going to find a single one without puzzle piece, and I don't know if we're getting over a 5 in this video. We have different, not less, and the different is in puzzle pieces. So Different Not Less is the name of Chloe Hayden's book, which is a book about autism, which I'd really recommend. I'll leave it linked in the description if you want to grab yourself a copy. I really loved it. I think it's from a quote by Temple Grandin, who was an autistic woman who was diagnosed a long time ago. She's kind of in many ways sort of led the way for autistic women. She's been reminding everyone that we do exist for a long time. From that perspective, you know, it's not the worst quote. I agree. Different does not mean less, but then we are very like, you know, primary childish sort of colors here, which I think is another thing, as I say, that people don't really love about the puzzle piece. You do kind of associate it with playrooms, and because it's just blocks of color, it isn't really an image. It reminds me of, you know, those little foam things that you stick together and put on the floor for children. You know what I mean? I'll find a picture of one and put it on screen. That's what comes to mind for me, those foam things, rather than a puzzle, which, yeah, in my head is very much like a nursery, very young child sort of thing. A lot of people are diagnosed as being autistic as children. It will have always been autistic if you're an autistic person, and people definitely do need help in childhood, but adults also need supports as well. Adults all over the spectrum do still need supports. And we also don't want autistic adults to be infantilized, you know, we want autistic adults to be respected, and this might hinder that a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the font and stuff as well. I'm not going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 4.75 because I like the quote. Another puzzle piece. I'm just going to have to call this reacting to puzzle piece tattoos. Okay, this is black and white, so I don't know if the original tattoo was black and white because the whole picture is. If it is, and I prefer that to the primary colours. I think that can be a little bit more sophisticated, a sophisticated puzzle we have here. Because, you know, adults can do puzzles too. I hate puzzles. This is another thing why it doesn't resonate with me. I don't like puzzles. Okay, maybe it's supposed to be, you know, like autistic people being systematic and logical, be very good at doing puzzles. Maybe there's some sort of idea around that. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. Look beyond the autism and you will see someone special. Oh no, this one hurts my heart a bit. Why don't you look at this autistic person? Or if you want to see them as person with autism and see autism as separate, fine. But why do you have to look beyond the autism? Why can't you look at them and the autism if you insist on seeing it as a separate entity? But it is their neurology and how their brain is wired, so it's kind of difficult to separate that from a person and their personality. Because, you know, people have a personality because they have brains. This is why it just doesn't make any sense to me personally as an autistic person. I couldn't say my autism. It's not something that I caught. It doesn't make sense to me. But if you have to see it in this way, you know, why do you have to look beyond to see them as someone special? Why can't you just, you know, accept every part of them? A lot of really successful autistic people, like Temple Grandin, you know, has had a successful career being freelance. A lot of that is to do with being autistic. It's not despite being autistic. People can often succeed in whatever is, you know, perceived as being conventionally successful because they are autistic. That's where autism is a bit different to, you know, like something that is a disease, because it's how your brain is wired and it can have positives and negatives, and for some people it can have more negatives than positives. And, you know, people being autistic can create these spiky profiles where you're incredible at something, you're a genius in one area, and then, you know, you really need help and support in other areas. I don't think you need to look beyond the autism, and if you look beyond the autism, you're probably looking beyond the person and you're not looking at the person anymore. I think I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 10 because I really do disagree with the messaging. And then we have the cow print puzzle piece there. I imagine it probably was in colour, so probably even worse than it looks to me right now. Oh no, this one is from the Reddit shitty tattoos. So I think we're in for a treat here. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Okay, there's a lot of blue. So it's like puzzle piece ribbons in lips, and it says, "Don't judge what you don't understand." Personally, design wise, I don't think that tattoo looks great. Proportions wise, that hand is very small compared to those lips. There's something strange going on there, and I just think not the best artwork. Somebody said, why is it biting the lip? Is the disembodied mouth supposed to be sexy? Someone replied, sexy autism awareness month. Was this done with glitter gel pen? Someone said. And then someone said, I sure hope so. Yeah, maybe this one's temporary as well. Maybe it's not around forever. Don't judge what you don't understand. I do kind of get that messaging a little bit. There's like snowflakes on the lips. Why? I do kind of get that messaging a little bit though. I imagine, you know, if a child is having a meltdown in a supermarket, people look around a lot. That must be really frustrating, particularly when you really love your child and you like, just stop being a judgmental person who thinks every time a child is upset, it is misbehaving and bad behavior and bad parenting. That's all really annoying. Apparently she was inspired in quotation marks by this awful t-shirt. And then someone said, oh good, so the proportions were wrong on the original too. Yeah, it's a bit weird, the biting the lips, like, don't judge what you can't understand. And I'm getting some mixed messaging there. At least it's got some sparkle going on. Like, at least it's not just the primary colours. I'll give it that. Ooh, when you click from that shirt back onto the tattoo, a bit of a jump scare. I think that's gonna have to be a 1 out of 10. I'm very sorry. Hopefully the person who got that tattoo never sees this. And hopefully it was in gel pen and it's long gone now, actually. What have we got here? Taylor Swift Mickey Mouse says, till all the pieces fit. I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean in terms of like genetic understanding of autism and causes for autism? Or is it kind of about fixing your child? I don't know. I do think autism and being autistic is puzzling. There is still a lot that we don't know. I will agree with that. However, I think when you're seeing content often where people are trying to cure autism with diet, even Abby's mom, I saw she had a TikTok where they'd spoken about going gluten-free and trying to see if that would help with being autistic. And that whole thing, it just makes me really uncomfortable. You're sending this message that you're broken. I think you can support somebody and offer them help without making them feel broken. I don't know, a puzzle with a missing piece does look a bit broken, you know, it looks like a bit was knocked off. I hate that one. I'm giving that one a 1 as well. I was worried about not being nice at the beginning, but now I'm just like, 1, get the lasers out quick. Oh, okay, that one looks nice. So it's got like the different color splodges. I like that like paint splatter color look. I always like that as just a design thing. I think that's really pretty. The infinity symbol makes me think of like there are infinite possibilities for how autistic people can present and for the number of different profiles of autism, and the different colors again implying like, you know, the spectrum, people presenting reacting differently. Do you think I should get an infinity symbol tattoo? Like, what if one day it becomes really problematic for some reason? I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. And then we have hope with puzzle pieces around it in a heart. Hope. Again, this just has vibes of like, I have not accepted my child yet. I am hoping for a future in which my child is different. I do think you can hope for a world that has more understanding, hope for better support, but there are lots of things that we do hope for within the autistic community. So I would give that one a 3, I don't know. Oh, and the next one, somebody's got the autism creature. Oh, it's so cute. Who created that? I need to look into the history of the autism creature. Autism Speaks, if they really want to rebrand, right? If they want to be cool, they want to be down with the kids on TikTok. Autism creature, that's how you get us in. Make that temporary tattoo, the autism creature. That's what you need to do, Autism Speaks. I think I'm gonna give that one a 10 out of 10. Maybe I need to get the autism creature. But again, like, what if he becomes offensive one day? Do you know what I mean? What if the autism creature does something? What if he gets cancelled? Like, can I trust him? I feel like he looks like a trustworthy guy, but I don't know 100%. That is terrifying. Somebody has tattooed their eyeballs. Just like trigger warning for like body modification stuff. Very puzzling. I've spent, this is a Sun article, $12,500 tattooing my face and eyeballs and turning myself into a human puzzle. Those eyes are terrifying. I'm very sorry. I've heard of people doing this and how dangerous it is. I could never. I'm sorry, that is not a tattoo that I'm gonna get. I personally don't want to spend £12,500 to look like that. There are other things that I think I would choose to do with that money. Pretty much anything you could do with that money would be better. If you spent $12,500 on temporary tattoos from Autism Speaks, that wouldn't be a good idea either, but there are lots of things that you could do with that money instead. I hope his eyes can still see okay. Yeah, that is a 0 out of 10, unfortunately. I appreciate the self-expression. I appreciate the alternative look, you know. Body modification has fascinated me for many years. I can do my individual thing, not the same as others do. I mean, as I say, that's fine. I can create and change my body as I would like it to be. I don't follow a trend like many other people. Over the years, I've developed my own trend, which nobody else wears. No mention of autism at all. So I don't know, that might have just been a coincidence that he happened to do that. I don't know. You do you kind of thing, and just look after yourself, look after your eyes, look after your face, be kind to yourself, self-love as well. It looked very similar to Sleeve Guy, actually. Maybe it's the same guy. So if you missed the video where I was talking about autism mums versus actually autistic people, why there is such a conflict, is there anything we can do to bridge the gap, I will leave that linked down below. I talk a lot more about Autism Speaks in that video, and then also if you would like to support me on Patreon, you can do to keep these videos coming. I will leave it linked down below. A lot of people in recent videos in my comments have been asking me how to join my Discord server, so it is actually connected to my Patreon, so you have to join the Patreon to be able to access the Discord server. You can access it on any tier, so my lowest tier is $4 a month, so if you join that tier, you will be able to link your Patreon and Discord, and you'll be able to join the server. And also if you join, you get 2 exclusive videos from me every month as well, and if you go up to the higher tiers, there are also more things that you can get as well. Only join if you are able to, but no pressure whatsoever, and you still helping and supporting by liking and commenting, and just by watching, just by lurking here, you're still helping, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this one, something a little bit different. Let me know if you'd like to see it again. Bye.